Sorry, okay, we can film now. I sat down ready to go, and I hear water running, and I'm like, what the hell? You know, what's going on? And I sat there, and I had to go out there, and Dad had left a hose running out here on some plants out here on the side of the house, and he doesn't hear it as good as I do because of his hearing aids aren't in if he's in the shower. I went out past his room there, and I saw he's getting out of the shower, and the water's still running on the trees, so I had to go over there and turn off the water. It happens sometimes. You get going out here and you start watering stuff and you forget about it, and we've all done it, so it's all good. So how's everybody going? I'm getting bombarded tonight. It's kind of cool, and I got a lot of, when I was working up on the roof, man, I was getting those ponchos big time, man. I'm really getting hit hard by a certain family and stuff like that. And you know, this is one of my favorite movies. And but that's Jennifer Lopez. She's a very beautiful woman, and that's her. But that's not Chris Perez's wife. Okay, this right here. What picture do I show first? Well, there's one on the back here too. But that woman right there, okay? That woman, and this lovely picture right here too, okay? That's Chris Perez's wife. That's Selena Quintanilla Perez, okay? She's no longer with us in the flesh as this lady because she was dangerous. She wasn't allowed to live. And there's a young man, well, he's about my age, but he's a little bit younger than me. But he posted today on his Facebook, you know, when you go back and talk to the younger you, have a beer and talk to yourself, you know what I say. And she's like bugging me. I'm like, oh gosh, Selena, leave me alone. Talk to him. Talk to my beautiful, beloved Chris. Come on, Ralph, do it for me. Okay, Mama. All right. We can have a pretty good intimate conversation and stuff like that. I do not appreciate you two using me as your marionette to talk, okay? I'm not Whoopi Goldberg and this isn't Ghost. I'm sorry. I'm a guy. I do that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, Selena's in charge. All right, Chris? Okay, so I got to shut up and do this right. If I don't do this emotionally and romantically enough, don't give me a hug or a kiss through the TV, through the YouTube or anything like that. I don't know how this works with you, and I don't know if you ever see it or read it or see it or know who I am or whatever and stuff like that. But Chris, we were connecting, and I have to do this through me and her. I have a Noah, okay? And if it wasn't for, I married my ex-wife Amy, and if I hadn't married her, she probably wouldn't end up sleeping with this guy that we worked with and giving birth to my son Noah. And he's my son, and I couldn't imagine a world without Noah in it. God has a reason and a plan for everything. We all just follow the script in the book, and for some reason it almost seems to be pre-written before we determine it. We can't really describe and understand how it all works, but it does for a reason. And there's more than one Noah, and I can't imagine a world without our Noahs in it. So the way that God decided for our lives to turn out, we wouldn't change a thing or trade a thing to not have those Noahs in my life or in your life. Do you understand what she's saying? Okay, that she wouldn't trade anything to change where you're at right now, because you're right where God needs you right now. Like old Ralphie said, never question your life. Never question where it ended up, and never question where it's going and what it's doing. Now, we're going to explain to you real quick how this mind control stuff works, and how it works with the intimately and intricately with the sex slave trade cartels and stuff across the border. How Dana, a friend of mine, I don't even know if that's his real name. You know, he had to give me a name, but a friend of mine who was involved with some of the mob families and stuff like that in Sierra Vista came and explained to me how this stuff works, and it's really intricate and it's very detailed. And I don't know if a lot of you are familiar with Johnny Avila, who was one of the top guys in the Mexican drug cartels a while back, that said he was recruited and trained by the CIA without his knowledge, you know what I mean? But it happens, and they have different sects of certain rogue. It's not rogue. It was some. It's just different operating corporate entities, The way the NSA, the CIA, and stuff like that's worked. You got good guys in that business, you got bad guys in that business. And it's just like any other business, you know. You got some guys you can trust and would love to do business. Have you ever seen the movie Scott by Games with Robert Redford? This is me and her working together. So she's like, Ralph, you know what to do. Like, kind of like Natalie's Dear Nick Johnson. Well, this is Dear Chris Perez. Okay, so we're going to go through and do this. And the lady, I kind of let it go, and then I go with the best that I know how to express it, and we're working together. And so you find the right words to say. You're him. You're the one who's like, yeah, our Savior and our Lord and Savior. Knock it off. No, and I'll find the right words to say to express what she's trying to say as our hearts are connecting, because we both love you so much. And there's more than one Noah, and she couldn't imagine you having a life without your Noah, just like I couldn't imagine having my life without my Noah. Do you understand? Marcel, you're going to make me cry now. You're going to be so... I love your wife, but she's a total pain in my butt. Okay? And she'll always be your wife. Because they can't take away a love through physical death. Okay? That love is eternal. And anybody who comes in your life is going to understand that and know that. Just like they would know if they had a husband in their life that was ripped away from them, and you wouldn't expect to replace them, but you would expect to love them and adore them as best as you can, to help love them. And it's not, the end-all be-all is not a physical relationship. It's a relationship with God and our God's gift to us and stuff like that. I mean, Chris, look at her. And she's one of the most beautiful, talented, amazing, strong women in the history of the world. And this is definitely her. And you got to share love with her. You got to make love to that woman, you lucky dog. Shut up. It's your wife. Oh, yeah, it's your wife. Okay, she's just, it was a privilege to know her, love her, and put up with her moods and tolerate her when she's in a bad mood, which is exceedingly rare because she's almost practically perfect in every way, more than Mary Poppins, the Mexican Mary Poppins. Shut up. Oh, go away. We joke. She's funny. I like her. She's cool. I dig your wife, man. She's so cool. Look, I had no idea. I thought you spoke Spanish. I didn't realize when we first started talking. I went to the record store to buy Eddie Santiago, and this was like $15, and Eddie Santiago was like $4, and I had to buy this one. Yeah, this one. I want to buy Selena's Greatest Hits. I want Eddie Santiago. It got $10 I could use somewhere else. It was when I was working at for Olay, working for the campaigns back in 2012. And I got this album, and then I just got Selena invaded. It's like, oh, God, tell your wife to leave me alone. I'm just kidding. I love you. 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 And I don't care who knows it. It's just a joke. Oh, knock it off. It's okay. I know how much you love Jesus. He's my uncle. No, we're not monkeys. Shut up. You're not funny. Look. So I'm Isaac's the monkey's uncle. Look, nah, I'm monkey's. Wait a minute. You're saying you call my nephew a monkey? No, you're the monkey. I'm the first monkey washing out the potato. Hey, I made the joke. We got a little bit. Look, it's your wife, dude. Oh my God, it's your wife. Damn, she's quick. She's witty as. She's always trying to keep ahead of you. And you're like, Sal, shut up. God, you're a spaz. I love you. Okay, what are we going to do next? I don't know. What do you want to do? Okay. It's your wife. It's your wife. She loves you. Okay, but that's... Okay. Can I get to the point where we were at with the Johnny Avila stuff and the whole 9 yards and yada yada, so on and so forth? Okay. If you were there... Have you ever seen that movie Time Machine? Your wife wasn't going to give up, and she wasn't going to lie, and she wasn't going to lay down. And she saw what was happening, and she was trying to help the borders, and you were going to try to help too. The only thing you could have hoped to have done was just die with her. Do you understand? And how would you have Noah? Do you understand? Look, Chris, you cannot dictate to God what you're going to do with your life and when you're going to live and die, because that's committing suicide, which is a sin. They were going to murder your wife. They murdered your wife. They used mind control techniques and things like that to set this thing off because she was a threat to the border industries and things like that. That your wife was going to die. She was a dead woman walking the moment she started meddling into their business. Do you understand? She knew what she was up to. She knew what she was doing. And if she had it all to do again, she'd do it the same way. And It was because she was the popular one. That boom boom. Once they knocked it all down, it lost all the attention. It did all the things. You guys would have an idea what was happening, but no one really had an idea of what's happening. But now we do today, and I can see it and explain it to you. Your wife was going to be murdered. All you would have done is eventually they would have worked it out the right way. Either you, if you were there to try to protect her, which you could have been able to save her from Yolanda, but they would have just got a better way to kill her and kill you too. And you'd rather have died with. I get the point. I'm like David, man. Take me and not my son. I understand where you're coming from. But I'm telling you, it's like the Kennedys when they killed Jack and then they said they killed the wrong Kennedy and then they went and killed Bobby. It was just you didn't figure it out. No one in their right mind figured this shit out. My daughter was sexually groomed and I didn't know and I didn't ask to know and I didn't need to know. Because Chris, here's the point I want to make to you. And this is just me and you. This is between me and you, dog, alright? I'm the similitude of the line of King David. And I only asked Jesus to know what I needed to know. With my wives, I knew what my wives were going to be like. I knew what they were going to look like. I knew they were going to have military. I thought there was only going to be one. But he was explaining to me, and I didn't want to know because I was like, I'm going to be a single dad, which I thought meant a widower. So I thought my wife that I loved and had children with was going to die. So I didn't want to know. And I'm like, I don't want to know this. And he's telling me. I was like, I don't want to know. I don't want to have a wife that I love, that I have children with, that I end up a single father. No. Because the only conceivable answer I could come up with was if I fall in love and she loves me and I love her and we have children, was that she dies somehow. So I was like, I don't want to hear this. And I never found out what happened. Now, one was gay and was abusive to you. The other one cheated on you like a runaway freight train. I don't think I would have wanted to know that either. Then I wouldn't have gotten married. I didn't marry you. You're going to fuck around on me. You're going to be gay and like so told you. I couldn't imagine a world without Patrick in it. I couldn't imagine a world, and without the circumstances of me being married, there'd be no Noah. So I can't imagine a world without Noah, without Emily. Go look at my Facebook if you can, Chris, and you'll see this little picture of my little Katie bug looking up at me. Like, imagine those little world without those little brown eyes looking at me. We would have never gone to Sheridan. We would have never got the time. And Jamie would have never screwed around on me. Oscar wouldn't have tried to be showing up with me at that job, and he wouldn't have got my wife pregnant. And I wouldn't have a Kate. I wouldn't change that goddamn thing that happened to me with those evil bastards that tried to make me look like shit. No. I wouldn't have Robot Bug. I wouldn't have annoying the cat. I wouldn't have defending the cat. I wouldn't have Goof. I wouldn't have any of those other videos with my kids. I wouldn't have had the time with Natalie ignoring me and annoying me. And does Andy Samberg know who I am? And is Nick Johnson single? It's a good question. It is a very good question. So silly, man. Shut up. Not you too. I love you too. Your wife thinks she's cute too. He is cute. You're cute. And I looked at that picture, and you look at it, and then the way you are, and you can see why she liked you so much. And when I was going through all that stuff, and I was going through all this emotional bullshit that they were raking through me, because I just can't see how it's a New York girl, man. I mean, Sells into getting a ranch on the thing, so I thought, man, it must have been her. Maybe her husband screwed up. I was like, no. She's like, no, that's my husband. I was going to have a ranch with Chris, and I love him. We're going to have our babies, and how dare you do it? And then she had me go in there, and then I had to click on this thing, and there it was. And at the award ceremony, her husband, oh, boo, hey. Now, don't any of y'all do that. That's my husband. What if you were my husband? And she was cool. She loves you. She still loves you. Her spirit always loves you. And I was just like, wow, that was so cool, Sal. You stood up for your man. And I was like, it's funny because I had to watch the movie, and I'm like, I didn't know when I first connected to her, because she was a Tejano singer just doing sheer Spanish. I thought she was a Spanish speaker first and not an English speaker. I didn't know that she was into Donna Summer and all that stuff and everything like that. And then when I bought this, and I'm like, I saw the movie, and I was like, oh, yes, Okay, but at first when she died, I didn't know the details much. When she died, I was like totally, it was weird, because spiritually, me and Patrick, I told you, every time we came to cruises, Lady Di, JFK Jr. and his wife, and Selena, every time we came to cruises, we went to the thing, picked up the paper, boom. they died. I was like, we gotta quit coming to cruises. Every time we do this, and I feel it. It's a significant death. It's somebody that's very important to the people, trying to do things that are important. They died for a reason. They didn't die because it was a random accident. This was a plot, and I was like, I could feel it, like we lost something, like a disturbance in the force, and I was like, whoa. And it was Lady Di, Jack and his wife, JFK Jr. and his wife, and still at Cell, and I was like, wow. And the one that devastated us the most, obviously, was Selena, because I could feel it in the community, that we had lost something in the community where I was from, that we lost something special, that there was an angel on that border that was doing things that were deeper than we knew. And like with Jack Kennedy Jr., JFK Jr., he was working in magazines, he was getting into different things, and he was going to try to come out and try to continue some of the things his father was doing and his uncle were doing, and it cost him his life. And same with Lady Di. I mean, she became friends with Mother Teresa. She was looking at things in a whole different way, and it cost her her life. She was looking to step outside these boundaries of rich and poor and trying to express some of the truth and some of the things that go on and happen. She was learning a lot, and she was, and she had more of a voice and more of a political and material wealth interrelation and access to knowledge that Mother Teresa didn't have. And same with Jack Jr. And strangely enough, because of her ties to the music industry and the business world, and her love for people in Mexico and on the borders, so did your wife. She's astute and she's really quick, and she sees things, and she saw like Pat Tillman, man. He saw that this was so illegal, and if we go out and just tell the press, they'll fix this. No, it's not like that at all. It's the moment you start being intelligent, figuring it out, and you're ready to vocalize it, and you're a PR tool, if you don't play the game right, you're going to die. She was going to die before she ever got past, yeah. I'm looking at those pictures on the front of this, all the different photo shots, all the different little faces of, man, she's beautiful. Dude, she's absolutely beautiful. She has one of the best voices. She has a really, really strong voice. And I told you, I have on my Xbox, I have one of the Latin albums with Como la Flor, and she sings the Spanish version of Sukiyaki and a lot of and some older standards that Abraham had her sing, and the way she could sing them. She has she not just has that little kind of Madonna kind of sweet, melodious, seductive voice, but she also had this in her voice that was just very storytelling and heartfelt. And she had like a cross between Donna Summer, I don't know, Madonna.